It starts with a girl, maybe 6, maybe 7, looking down at herself, seeing how horrible she was, how gross, like a monster. She didn't look anything like the other kids from 4-H. They were all skinny as rats from dragging goats through the mud and bending over fields in the blazing hot sun. In the summer, all kids' legs were scabby, but nobody had marks on them like I did. Like Seal. Seal had some scars. The first one came when I was 6. I had bashed open my knee climbing up this barbed wire fence, and my mama had to drive me to the hospital to get the thing stitched up with this ugly dark thread. That's how deep it was. But when I got home, I took it out myself. I told my mama it had come out in the bath, but I could tell by the way she looked at me sideways frying the eggs that she didn't believe it. All that summer, I worked on my knee, and by the time Labor Day rolled around, I looked like I had been caught in a thresher, maybe. After that, she just seemed to find them. Seal, these cuts, these holes in her skin. Some she put in there for the kitchen knives for killing the chickens, or the shears for the garden, or the awl Daddy used for punching holes in the saddles. Mom didn't know what to do with her girl. First, she just crossed her arms like so across her chest and said, "You're picking at those cut spears again, aren't you, Seely? Why would you ever do such a thing? Why would you do such a thing to yourself?" And so, she started buying extra boxes of Band-Aids and placing them around the house in places she thought I might be likely to come across them. But I wanted to take my body completely apart, leave it out in the yard for everyone to see, even the neighbors. All through high school, after my shower, when the skin was still soft, it was my thing to know. And then one day, my husband finds me on the floor of the bathroom because he busted in without knocking. And after that, he kept track of where I went, watched what I did. I tried to lay still. I forgot things, left them to burn on the stove. And then one day, he gets so mad at me that he's pacing around, and he slams the door on his way out, and accuses me of leaving the windows open, letting in animals, stray cats and birds, and letting the heat out in the winter. So, I needed a final solution to get rid of all the flesh at once. I was poking a roasted chicken full of cloves, preparing it for Sunday dinner, and then it came to me. My body. I wanted to light it on fire, to hear the fat sizzle into smoke, because with all the fat gone, I could dance. More than that, I could run and jump and maybe even fly. It seemed so obvious. Why hadn't I thought of this before? So, I thought that, my thighs would catch up first, and then the rest of me would follow on quick. And so, I went to light the match, and I stroked it smooth across the rough edge. I held it in front of my face, and it flickered in my own breath as it swallowed the match head. And then, I lifted my leg and dropped it onto my pants. At first, nothing, and then, warm, hot, my leg started to jump. I screamed without meaning to. Oh my God! I reeled around the face powder, reaching desperate for something, anything, towel, pot holder, glass of water. In my mind, I heard Mrs. Moser from in front of the blackboard saying, "Stop, drop, and roll." She said, "If you ever catch fire, to just stop, drop, and roll." Later that evening, I went to the phone to call 911. I caught fire. I said calmly, shivering, numb, I was cooking a chicken. It escaped.